Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl May, your favorite book baddie with a chronic illness. And if I'm not your favorite, I will be. We back on the floor. Still not feeling the best today, but we proceed. It's July. We have officially reached mid-year, so let's do a quick flashback for the first half of the year and discuss some mid-year faves. I had to pull out Trusty Dusty Lavender just so we can flip through and see what we're working with. Let's start from the top of the year. 1201. That was the first book that I read this year. It did not disappoint. 1201 was so good. Oh my goodness. We talking about lick back, messy, nasty hunching. Good time. And then the audiobook did not disappoint. Get into it. Chapter 16 specifically. If you know, you know. And then I'm going to say Real. Real was refreshing. Real was surprising. I am a fan of Kennedy Ryan's work, absolutely, but Real touched me in a way I did not expect it to. First and foremost, there was chronic illness representation, which I absolutely loved, but there were specific scenes within the book that actually brought me to tears. And I haven't cried at a book in so long, more specifically when Neva, she ended up in the hospital after having a really bad flare. And our MMC, Cannon, he had a flashback to the last time he went to the hospital with his mother. And the way that Kennedy described it all, oh my goodness, it made me think about my dad and seeing him in the hospital. The way that he lost his mom was almost identical to the way that I lost my father. So I don't want to give too many spoilers, but baby, I cried. I cried at that book. It was so good, though. The overall story, beautiful. The Yellow Wife by Sadika Johnson. That was a tough read, but it was a necessary one. I will say that. Yellow Wife was, trauma. It was so heavy, but so necessary to read because it is still a part of our history. It's ugly, it's gritty, but it's what happened to a lot of our ancestors. And to know that that was loosely based on a true story, oh, it broke my heart, but it was so good. What next? Legend Born was so good by Tracy Dion. This was me getting back into my fantasy bag. Oh my goodness. Y'all, that story, masterpiece. If I could go back and read it one more time for the first time, I would. And I did immersive reading, so I got the full effect of it. If you can, absolutely immersive read it or just listen to the audio because it plays like a movie. And when you get to the climax and the action, oh, it's so good, y'all. Yes, there are very real elements in the story that I enjoyed, like her dealing with being at the PWI as a Black girl and being underestimated and basically treated as though she didn't belong, but also her finding her way after grief and coming into herself or beginning to come into herself because there are two other stories afterward and we're actually waiting on a third. But you see her finding her way, getting answers to things that she couldn't get from her deceased loved ones. And it was just a really good story all around. Next up, The Art of Loving You by Natasha Bishop. That story, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And a couple videos ago, I did upload my formal review on it, but it was a really good love story of them processing grief, ultimately getting their second chance at their love story now that they've both grown up and just finding their way through chaos and a series of tasks that their mentor left them in order to basically plan her homegoing service. It was a really good story overall, watching them find their love for each other again. I will say the MMC fell first, of course, and it took the FMC a while to get back there because, baby, this was a true slow burn, but it was so worth it. I enjoyed the ride. No pun intended. If you read the story, you'll know. Then I'm going to go over to Big Girl Blitz. Although Plus Size Player is still my favorite from the Curve series, Big Girl Blitz is a close second. It was really good. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I did see pieces of myself within our FMC, and watching her process her grief and just trying to be a bit more fearless and come into herself, stop being so guarded and just playing it safe all the time. I needed that. It actually inspired me to create my own list of things I needed to complete, and I need to actually get back to doing that list now that I think about it. It's just a really good story. Another grief story, unfortunately, but oh, and then I'll end it with Only for Me by Casey Mills. I'm not typically a secret baby trope lover. It's not in my top 5, I can tell you that. But this story was so well done. I loved it. Their story of coming together, although our FMC was fighting him on it, she ultimately leaned into it and found her softness. Of course, they had bumps in the road. She felt like she knew what was best, but it was still a good story. It was a good time. Omiri, I like that man. But that pretty much concludes my mid-year faves. I am excited to know how I close out this year with the second half with those favorites. I already know that Joliet is going to be one of my favorites this year because the way that it has me pulled in right now, I'm loving it. Let's talk about a couple books that I'm anticipating to read. I am greatly anticipating getting into watercolors, Evelyn Latrice. I am anticipating Heart of a Goon 2 whenever Miss Author Lady drops it, because I need to know several things, actually. The way she left us off on that cliffhanger, diabolical. What else? The Summer Girlfriend by Christina Forrest. Y'all saw that in my TBR stack for July, but I'm hoping to get through it. If not for this month, before the end of the summer, because hello, it's in the title, Summer Girlfriend. But I'm going to say for now, those are my top 3 that I want to get into. Actually, no. I want to read, I believe her name is Antoinette Sherrill. I want to get into that series. I tried to purchase books from her at BRBF, but day one she was only doing pre-order, so I wasn't able to pick them up. But that's not going to deter me. KU is going to be my best friend. So yes, those are my mid-year faves and a couple of my most anticipated reads for the rest of this year. Of course, I'll keep y'all updated, but that's all I got for now. Love you, bye.